Look how low I am. This is, I've got the guitar in my hand. Never a good sign. I'm pissed up. I'm pissed up on booze. Not a lot. Not a lot. If it weren't a lot, I wouldn't have mentioned it, would I? I think it's I think if it wasn't a lot, I've been to a Cambodian wedding reception. This is what I remember of it. My girl, don't lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines, where the sun don't ever shine. I will shiver your night through. I like to sing just the last verse of the song because it's always the best bit. Right, that was for the oi polloi. That was for the riff-raff. Yeah, I've had a few. Fucking weird night though. I think I'm a bit more zoomed in than usual. Washing. I've had a lot of people telling me how to make my channel more professional. I've been at this lark now nearly 7 years. This is it. This is it. It ain't improving. No, you're right there, Mr. Jim. It is not fitting. It's a beautiful song though, Lead Belly though. Hello, Nyan Foss. Long time no see. Oh, mate. I have been absolutely smashing Lead Belly today, I have to say. I used to do a different version of that song. I'd done my own arrangement, and I was writing earlier, and I thought, this is hard work. Not that, this. It's not working. I had about 4 bottles, but I've been dancing, you know, and it's weird dancing because you sort of it's weird because it's all based on the Buddhist hand dance. It really is though. I'm not making these shenanigans. What? I'm not making these shenanigans up. You've seen the traditional dancing. Well, that is like a seed. It's like a seed, and then it's a flower. But then when that's gone down to the folk who don't grow up in dance schools doing all that, they just sort of do their own. And they all go in a circle. I'll get to that. I've got to tell you about the skirt though, because my missus is still out. She went to a party with her mates, but I was like, yeah, I'm 50. Yeah, I don't do a wedding reception and then a party. Hang on, I've got all sorts of dramas going on over here. Niggling Billy's popped in already. Hang on, let's see what Niggler's got. What did you do to your head in the last stream? It made you look like a mongoloid. Always good that you're right. You earn your name. It's just I just done an effect. I've done the deformation tool. I don't think it's called that. It's called the mongoloid tool, isn't it? You just click that. What's it? I don't know what it is. Just that. It's just that. That's nice, isn't it though? It's got something of the ocean about it. Everything's oceanic in my world. Nice one, Billy, for the free bond. Hang on a minute. Hello, Booyah, Ian. Booyah. Lovely comment on my Substack, Ian. That absolutely touched me, and I replied as such. I just spat. Spitter. 555 Classics, yeah. Says getting pissed won't help baby mate. Well, it's funny you say that because we certainly had a go. Now, Jer, are you aware that in the Thai language, number 5 is ha? Well, I think if I remember incorrectly, it's because it's a tonal language like Cantonese and Mandarin. Cambodian isn't. I don't think it is. I don't know any Cambodian, so it's actually called Khmer. But so it's ha. When Thais text each other or Facebook and all that, you'll see 555 all the time, and that is ha. So, Jer, you are now classics. Well, you call yourself what you want, but if you went to Thailand and said your name was 555 Classics, I think it's your new channel, is it, or just your channel? But in Thailand, you're the Classics. Rags drops a 10 spot. Have it. Look, just almost like a weapon. It weaponized donation. Have it. Nice one, Rags. Point to that. People, this is a lazy stream, and when the missus comes home, I'm just, I might even fall asleep in a minute, but we've done that before. Raspberries, come on, you can't get this kind of content anywhere else in the world. Hang on a minute, you can get better. That's better. So what am I talking about? Thank you, Ragnar. That's very kind of you, if that is your real name. Hello, Mr. Palmer. Nice to see you. Cray Boy's taking his son to the football. Oi, so yesterday night streaming, I have got some things to tell you about the wedding, by the way. My girl. Beautiful song though. If you haven't heard that, type in the Pines, Lead Belly. Nirvana kind of made it famous, but I mean it's all right, but it's like Nirvana style Lead Belly, which it would be because they done a version of it. And that's what I was saying. I'd done a different arrangement, and I thought, why? Lead Belly nailed it. He nailed it. Why put some hundreds and thousands on it when it was all right with just cream? Yeah, cake analogy. Where are we? No, I know what you were talking about, Bill. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's just there's a tool. I can't. Yeah, I'll find out. I'll show you. I'll show you, Bill. I'll actually do it for you. Yeah, look, I've still got me latest thumbnail up. Hang on, give me a couple of shakes. Don't wank me off. Here we go. Have a look at this. Sorry about that, ladies, and anyone else who was offended by that ridiculous comment. This is really hard work. I don't really know where I am. So there you go. See my boat race there, looking really horrible. Notice the slightly whitened teeth. Actually going to the effort of doing that. It doesn't get worse than that, does it? Who wants that in their life? I have to live with it. It's very sensual, and you know it. Right, watch this, Billy. Are you watching? See my cursor? It goes over here and here, somewhere here. Warp brush. And then this one, see this one? You can't see it, but it's 4 arrows pointing inwards. So can you see that big circle? See that big circle over my face? I put it right on the end of my snout and I go, and there you go. Pretty much identical to the last one because all the settings are the same. Okay? Yep. I'll tell you what, Billy, get yourself a computer. It's getting dark in here. Why has that got darker? Have I lost some light? Let me get it. I'll brighten it up a bit. Don't worry. There's no point. If I can barely talk, at least I should do you the honor of being able to see me. Hang on, watch this. This should do it like this. There you go. Migraine. Hi. That's a bit weird for me, though. All right. I don't like that backlight. Give me a couple of seconds. There you go. That's better. That's how we usually play it. Right, let me tell you that. Right, so this isn't a story, right? This isn't a story with things that happen. There's no pullback and reveal. There's no suspense. But I think because you're men and women, or maybe there's a couple non-binary people in. Hi to you people. You're most welcome. You won't stay for long. Because you're men and women, and you'll understand the social dynamics within which I struggled tonight. And it's all about skirt. It's all about skirt. And now I'll tell you why. Right, ready? So we get invited to this wedding. Well, my missus does. And she's part of a group of friends. There's about 8 of them. And so we originally book a tuk-tuk, my mate Soper. And he's been good to me since I've been here. When I first got here and I was struggling a bit, I was getting so hammered. I'd wake up like 80 quid down. And that's a lot of money to spend on alcohol in Cambodia. Now, obviously, I'd bought girls' drinks, lady drinks or whatever, but that's still smashing it. And like an empty blister packet of Xanax, an empty blister packet is like 10 milligrams. That's an equivalent to 100 milligrams of diazepam. So that's not a good night out. And this fella Soper, he knew where I lived because he dropped me off here before. He'd bring me home, get me in my house, put me in my bed, take no money, steal nothing, make sure everything was locked up, and in the morning ring to see if I was all right. And then when I asked him if I paid him a couple of days, next time I see him up there, up the red light district, sounds so quaint that, doesn't it? Up the red light district. I'd give him like a fiver for helping out and that. He's always been really kind to me. That hasn't happened many times, but it used to happen too many times when I first was here. But so we booked him, and then at the last minute, change of plan. But we've booked him, so that's awkward. So he's waiting outside. We get him to take us about 1 minute because we're going to get a car with some of the other girls, right? Now, already, I'm thinking it's always a bit tricky when your bird's got loads of hot mates. I'm usually quite good at dodging this. Now, because Khmer people are so traditional, and tonight, the envy I had over their traditions, the strength that they have in their traditions, the fact that they're holding on to them for dear life. Now, I don't mean that meaning they're losing grip of them, but they've just been through, well, call a spade a spade. They've just been through communism. There's people here still alive, not even that old, who lived through that hell, and it was hell. Look into what happened here. I think, it's not a competition who had it the worst, but I think that what happened here ranks well high amongst the horrors of communism. It was a fucking disaster. And you've got people who lived through that, who had like 10 of their siblings murdered, tortured, murdered, for no other reason than they thought they were intellectuals or they found a book and they read. So, no, you're stained by capitalism, so we're going to get children to torture you, feed you your bollocks, and then get your sister to kill you. That sort of thing was, I think it was like a third or maybe 2/3, I'm a little bit worse for wear, of the population died during that. Anyway, so you look at them and you see a culture that nearly lost it. When I was watching the old boys and the old girls dancing at the wedding, and there's this massive table of fruit, and the fruit is like a mountain, a mini mountain of fruit, all the gorgeous tropical fruits that you can imagine, right? And they're all there. And there's one bit during the evening where not everyone, there was about 1,000 people at this fucking reception. It was a huge hall. And there's one bit where they all dance around it. Well, whoever wants to. And they go circles, but I don't quite understand how it works, but they do all this hand bit. And there's live band playing, but it's traditional music, Sin Sisamuth and all that lot. The Thai food song with that, and the woman, that's an original Thai Cambodian song. It's weird that he called it Thai food. It's a Cambodian song. Sin Sisamuth. He's kind of like the Rod Stewart, like the much beloved pop star of Cambodia. He's the Rod Stewart of Cambodia, Sin Sisamuth. And then you just sort of take a lot of fruit when you've had enough, when you're knackered, and people clap and they're laughing, and it's beautiful to see. And I was, there was this one old fella there, must have been about 65, and he was doing his hand thing, and he was, you still doing that hand thing? And he was giving it all that, and I looked at him, and I was sitting there, and I was thinking, he must have been about what? He must have been about 15 when that all kicked off. When Phnom Penh got emptied in a day, when the Rouge turned up in Phnom Penh in tanks, they were cheered into town. The population was like, "Yay, Yeah, you know, America bombed Cambodia from the Vietnamese border to the Thai border, the whole country. Why? You tell me. Really, you tell me. I haven't got a fucking clue. You look into it. They just did. And this is after Nixon, of course, went on till he said, I have not and will not, I have not planned and will not bomb Cambodia. Right. Boom. And you know, these people have become very special to me. You know, I love Thailand, and Patong will remain my spiritual home because it changed me in ways that I didn't think were available to someone at my ritualistic, habitual behaviours, and I had a very important romance there that done things to me that needed doing. You know, and but the Cambodia's it's a very different country, and you know where Thailand has kind of it's almost bought its own story. You know, and I only go to the tourist areas. You know, I don't really like Bangkok. I think Bangkok's a bit. It reminds me of Rotterdam in a way. It's just sort of like industrial, not industrial, but post-industrial kind of chuck it all in there. It'll be all right. And but Cambodia hasn't got that, and Cambodia's. Imagine actually being at war. You know, think about like the Second World War and being in England, and people thinking, you know, when is this going to end? Are we going to get our country back? Well, times that by about 1 million when you've actually got the enemy of your own people in your country, and there's just piles of bodies everywhere, and you can hear the screams of the people being tortured, and you're starving to death. People are just dropping dead next to you, brothers, sisters, wives, husbands, parents, kids, on a daily basis. And you're just thinking, is this ever going to stop? Is anyone going to help us? What the fuck is the world doing? Why is this happening to us? And then I looked for that old fella who I said, I'm guessing he's about 65, could have been a bit older, younger. And I looked at him and he had this little grin on his face, and he was doing this sort of Cambodian thing. And he was in his circle, and he had a bit of a limp. And a lot of the older people out here have got limbs missing, fingers missing, scars, like, you know, ridiculous scars where someone's just got a knife and gone, don't say that again or I'll kill you. And I thought, look at that fella, look, he lived through all that. He actually lived through it all. When they waved him into town and thought, yay, the Rouge are here, yay. And then within about 10 minutes, it was grab what you can carry, get out your house. We ain't doing this cities lark. We ain't doing this business lark. No, we're agricultural. Like Gandhi. You know, Gandhi gets so much, Gandhi was amazing. No, he wanted to send India back about 500 years. And they've done the same here. They emptied the cities and they took them all out into these people who weren't farmers, took them all out into the provinces and made them grow rice. And it only needs to fail. You only need that crop to fail 1 year, and everyone starves to death again because you can't plan your resources long term because there's no market, and if you don't have a market, you can't regulate the value of your resources. Happens every fucking time. So I'm looking at this fellow, and then his missus turned up, and she was all old, and I thought, look at them, they lived through that. And they've seen their nation, and they've seen their culture and their religion. You know, that was completely outlawed. They've seen it survive. And they've probably understood the value of all that. They probably understood the value of their culture, their traditions, their ethnicity, the thing that makes up all of who they are as a people. And I looked at him and I thought, and I was a bit pissed, right? I mean, I'm sort of post-pissed now, and I remember I just thought, you know, he was probably there up to his knees in fucking sludge, shoveling shit, literally starving to death, and just thinking, when's this ever going to end? What has happened? How did hell? Why did hell come to Cambodia? And what's this for? What the fuck is it about? And hoping, you know, and maybe almost certainly watching people of his family get murdered, parents killed, children killed. You know, the amount of people who, going back to those days, if you go back to the 50s and the 60s, it was traditional for Cambodian people to have like 10 to 15 children. Like one woman would pump out 10 to 15. In the provinces, it still averages about 5.6 children per woman. And the amount of people I've met who said, no, I lost them all. I had 13 siblings going into that, and I'm the only survivor. And you just think, how do you process that? How do you end up at a wedding smiling, dancing? How do you get on with your life after that? Because you have to. Because if you don't, what's the point? You know, what's the point? You just sit there. You know, it's kind of insulting to your murdered family and friends to not accept it. You know, that might sound a bit brutal, but I think that's how I feel about it. And life and death is brutal, especially the death part. You know, it's kind of insulting because you've survived it. You've got another chance, and so fucking live it. Make the most out of it. And it did stop, and it did happen. And slowly the nation built itself up, and it maintained its traditions, and it maintained its cultures. Cambodia is 98% Buddhist Khmer. I mean, that's in the current globalist climate, to be 98% homogenous ethnicity is quite something. And I was the only Barang there, like I say, out of over 1,000 people, I was the only well, maybe there was some Vietnamese and some Thais, but what I'm saying is there was no other European people there, and I did have a regular look. Right, that's the heavy stuff out of the way. So my missus changes the plans. We're not going to get a tuk-tuk. It's too far in a tuk-tuk. Her friends are going to get a car. Her friend's husband's going to drive. We're all going to share this motor, right? And so we've got to meet them up at the market because they're just closing up their market stall. Now, my missus comes out of the bedroom just looking like a princess. She's got this white sort of figure hugging kind of lycra full length fishtail dress. Do you know what I mean? So you can see her body, and then at the bottom it's got like a little fan. It's a fishtail dress. And then there's no shoulders on it, so it just her breasts are pushed up, and it's got like this big sort of, I don't know what you call them, you know, just sort of like elaborate kind of top to it. And she's had her hair done and all her makeup done at a salon, and and so I thought, well, I've got a funny feeling everyone's going to do this because she's not going to turn up like that, right? If she turns up, I'll have to switch stories. So we turn up to the market. It's closing time. It fucking stinks, right? There's a pile of rubbish, the market sort of trash. The market's been open since 4 this morning. And this was they start setting up at about 4. And there's a fish market, there's a meat market, there's a fruit market, there's all sorts of stuff there. And so that's been out it was 36 here today, fucking boiling. So that's been sitting out all day. So the stench is unreasonable. And I use that word intentionally. It's unreasonable. You shouldn't have to. And so then we start walking down the aisles. I've got my Cutler and Gross shoes on. I've got me what is it? Oh, what did I can't remember what they're fucking called. I had a nice pair of trousers on, nice shirt. I didn't go for a tie or cravat, too hot, no waistcoat, just shirt, nice pair of trousers, and nice pair of shoes. And I'm slipping in like fish guts, and it's dark and dingy. And then we turn around the corner, and there's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 of her friends, right? Fucking hell, man. Just incredible. Absolutely beautiful. They are all done up as much as my missus. They've also all been to one of them runs a salon, and that's where my missus got her face and hair done. And that's where they'd just been getting all theirs done. And one of them, I just thought, oh dear, I really fancy her. Now, I know historically that if I really fancy someone who isn't my girlfriend, I'm in a bit of trouble, because now I'm checking my behavior. I'm not relaxing because I don't want to give the game away. And then if you're drinking as well, you know, I'm not doing like a bottle of vodka, but it's enough to put you off your sort of moves a little bit. And I was thinking, oh, fuck it. And there was something about her top lip. There was, you know, I don't know what it was. There was just something about her that I really fancied. And I really fancy my missus, of course, don't get me wrong. But I'm a bloke, and my genetics have programmed me to sow my seed, essentially. So that's within me. Now, I will never cheat on my missus because I've done all that. And, you know, if you cheat on your missus, you get equal measures of pleasure and pain. You'll get the pleasure of banging someone who you want to fuck. Great. But you'll get the pain as well, regardless of whether you get caught, and you usually always do. But even just carrying that guilt around with you, and I did for years, and it done me right up. It done me right up. My first missus, I cheated on so much, and you know, I think that was the start of my downfall, really. I think just, you know, just hurting someone, just telling someone you love them, and convincing yourself that you love them. But you don't cheat on someone you love. You're faithful to someone you love, and so you can't even have that conversation with yourself because it's ridiculous. You've just been an arsehole. You've been greedy. Because you can't have everything in life. You can't have all the good things of a relationship and all the good things of being single. It's one or the other. Otherwise, you're an arsehole. And that's what it is. It's just greed. And I had a girl call me out for that one. She outright said, "You're just greedy. You're just greedy. You expect to have people love you, and you expect to treat them like shit. How entitled are you? What kind of spoiled child are you?" I was like 30 when she said this. And I was like, well, I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. I've been thinking the same thing for the last 15 years. You're doing me right up. Skin and Tonic, that's very kind of you. Read the book Stay Alive, My Soul. I couldn't even say it. Hang on a minute. I'm 50. Cut me some slack. Read the book Stay Alive, My Son, about a Cambodian survivor. Bring you to tears. I'm sure it would. Skin and Tonic, can you email me that? Because I will forget. I'm just being honest, but I'd love to have a look at that. I've read a lot of stuff about Cambodia, obviously. A ruffle. That's it. A ruffle. Pizzle made a meme, actually. I'll get back to the wedding story, but if I don't show Pizzle's meme, and someone else made a meme as well, and I've just closed it, so that screwed it up. Hang on, let me just interrupt the story with a couple of memes. Power, I saved it as. Here it is. Who else done one? Vincent, I think. Or Vincent sent me something, but no, he didn't. Bollocks. I wonder if it's on the recent files. No, that was asking too much. Oh no, I'm never gonna find it. Who else sent me a meme or something? That's asking a lot, isn't it? Let me just have a look who's here. Someone at some. It might. Nah. Anyway, look. Have a little look at this that Pizzle done. This is Pizzle's first meme, and I think it's actually very good. It's a classic format. It's a classic images, but I was quite impressed actually. It's hard work, you know. Sometimes it's quite. You're putting yourself on the line a little bit, making a meme. Here are Pizzle. Nice one, Rob. Happy belated 50. Happy belated. 50 is a new 40. My birthday was a few days before yours. Lots of love to you, Danger. And you, Rob. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, mate. Hello, Charlie. Hello, Planet X. Hello, Scory. I'm trying to think who sent the other. Hello, Lulu. Trying to think who sent the other meme. I should have just. Oh, I might have actually put meme in the. No, I didn't. Did I? I didn't. Hang on. Give us a second. What? I've got more awkward wedding stories to tell you though. Hang on. I just want to find this. Maybe I did put meme in the title. No. Damn. Who sent me it? Someone else sent me one. I thought it was Vincent. I'm getting nothing for Vincent or Griffin. Ah, bollocks. Someone might remember. Anyway, so we get to this bit, right? You're all right, Jer. It was a cracking old stream, though. Oh, I'm loving being 50. I love being 40. It's all good. What's the name's proud of me? There you go, Vincent. That's it. Good call. What's the name's proud of Chris singing the Varts. Yeah, it's nice. Yes, you did, Vincent, and that's what I called it. I won't give the game away. Vincent. Oh, hang on. There you are. Gotcha. Nice one, Vincent. It was you. I knew it was. I was just making it squaswa. Check out what Vincent does here that no one else thought of. I can't believe I hadn't thought of it. A little play on words on an old classic, shall we suggest? Have a look at this. Hang on. Have a look at... Hang on, I'll make it a bit bigger. Have a look at this. Where's my mouse? Here. Incredible work from Vincent Grifter. Look at that. Good, huh? Whoever thought freedom? It works as well, doesn't it? It works with that absolute Chad there. Billy says, I want you to get super fit and healthy, Dangerfield. So I have. Hope I can do it in the future too. That's a little bit sensual. Why do you want me to get super fit and healthy? Well, the next message is going to be send nudes. That's very kind of you, Billy. It won't happen. I am going to start the gym again, but, I think I've done, the damage is done, so to speak. Right, so listen. These birds, now here's what's lovely about it. They're not just slagged up in like nothing. These are traditional sort of Cambodian clothes. That's what's amazing. And that juxtaposition of the stinky, dirty market and these three beauties, all with their hair all wound up in like these incredible hairdos, and all their make a traditional Cambodian designs, and all their nails done, and these beautiful outfits. Now, I am attracted to all women, right? I find women attractive, but I do like a Southeast Asian woman. I do. It's a preference. I know that don't go down too well, but and it is an anomaly. Mixed race relationships are so rare. Do you know black and white, African and white is the highest in the country is Haringey at 4.4%. When Christmas comes around, you'd think it was the other way around. It was 95.6%. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm too drunk for numbers. Right. So I was lost. I was transfixed. I was drunk on lust, right? And my missus has stood with them. So there's now a bevy, vart. There was a vart of tart, right? And they were all being female because they are very female. And they were all just sort of doing their little poses and their little cheeky laughter. I was just, and I was like, fuck this, man. I mean, I just thought, hang on a minute. And my missus has already said to me there's probably going to be I will deal with these VARs, but I'll just get this bit of the story out. I was thinking, my missus has already told me she said there'll be about 700 people there. And I thought that you can split that down the middle. So that's already like 350 women. And on first perusal, the quality is rather high. And then I was thinking, hang on, what's going to happen in the car? So we get to the motor, right? And it's one of the birds' boyfriends who's driving. So I'm thinking, she'll get in the front, and then that means that there's going to be 4 of us squashed into the back. And I'm thinking, oh, squash me in there. just bitch sandwich me. I wanted to just tear all my clothes off and just snap my limbs. Just work yourself around me. Just entwine your luscious femininity wherever you need put it. I will. What do they call them? I will be a sensual contortionist to make this journey the most sensual it could be. And then she went, what? She went, Chris. She went, and she sort of, she can't speak English, but she knows my name. She went, Chris, and she gestured to get in the front. I was like, no. And so it begins. My missus looks at me a bit, and I'm like, no, there's no reason. And she can't understand Cambodian. I'm really talking to my missus. I'm like, there's no reason for you to be uncomfortable. I've turned around, and these 3 birds, and like I say, one of them, she was so fucking hot, man. Fuck me, I can't get her out of my mind. And that's the problem. It ain't really, because, I'll sober up tomorrow and it'll be like, yeah, there was a pretty bird. It happens. But I just thought, please don't make me get in the front seat. Please. I was really fighting it. No, car. I was going like, no. And in the end, my missus just threw me in there. She was on to me. And then even the journey there, right, they were all giggling and that. And every time I've sort of turned around to look at them, that's all I was doing, between the seats, just look at them. They were just giggling like women do when they want to arouse men. And that's what it is. It's basic semiotics. They weren't finding it funny. It's sensual giggling. And my voice went well low, and because that's me doing my masculine bit. I was like, wait, stop laughing at me, you lot. And they go, hee. And I was like, oh, fucking hell. So then it's about a 20-minute drive, nice aircon, which is good because my shirt was wet when I got in that car because it was so hot. The weird thing about Cambodians, they complain about the heat, right? They really do. Oh, it's so hot. And I'm like, yeah, but it is every day it is, right? But this is like summer now, so it'll get up to 40 centigrade daily soon. But they sort of like, it's almost like they're surprised. Oh, it's so fucking hot. And I'm like, yeah, but you're 30. You've seen this 29 years, no? But it's weird. I suppose it's like the English. The English like, oh, look at the weather. And it's like, yeah, but it's been like, I suppose it's the same. Anyway, we get there and shit the bed. Now, this is why it's glorious, because I've seen this before in the provinces. I've seen it where you've got these real old-fashioned traditional Cambodian houses on stilts. It's almost like a thatched roof, but the walls are made like that. Really, they drink out of wells, and it's dusty everywhere, and it's not very clean because they haven't got the money or the time to, why would they waste their energy on that sort of shit? But then when there's a wedding, or if they're going to the temple, it's just this explosion of color and glamour, and it's mind blowing. And so having that in the fish and meat, the stench of the fish market, these sort of 3 goddesses just sort of step out of it, and I was just like, fuck. And then when we arrive at the wedding, we all get out the car. There's beautiful women everywhere. Absolutely. It was what's a collective noun for loads of beautiful Khmer ladies? It was a spunkification of Khmer beauties. Everywhere I looked, and that made it even worse, because I don't want to sit there. So on my table, of course, fate would have it that my missus is sitting on my right, but the girl that I've got some weird one night crush on, and we've all had them, she's sitting opposite me. So I cannot but look at her. And that's what I mean about, I don't want to upset my missus, and I'm obviously not going to make a move on her. I'm not 18 or anything. But I don't want to not, I want to act normal, but I can't, because then she starts doing the same, and now I've pulled her on a sort of unconscious subliminal level, because she knows she can, men and women know the signs. We know how to read this stuff. She knows I'm not normal. I'm not treating her like I'm treating the other two. I'm not treating her like the other three that joined our table. No, it's different. And because I don't want her to think I really fancy her, I tell her that I really fancy her. She can tell, because I'm trying so hard not to. And you're caught in a trap in that. You're absolutely caught. So I in the end, I've turned the seat. I've turned it towards the missus. The missus has gone, "Why are you facing me? It's weird." I was like, "Yeah, it's not as weird as the other thing." And they were just everywhere. And at one time, my missus got me up dancing around this thing of fruit, and there was just flesh and the glamour, and like I say, traditional clothing. Now, I remember thinking at the time, I thought, if I sober up enough before I get home, and if the missus goes to this party, I'll do a stream, right? And I thought, you know what? One of the things that's really exciting about those women tonight, and I thought, isn't that weird that it's politically incorrect to say what I'm about to say? And it was one of the things that added to the attraction, to the excitement, to the beauty, to the seduction. Because we live in a culture where men are seen as predatory. Men approach women. "Oh, I love you. Would you like to come out for a drink or something?" But men have already been seduced. The woman's appearance, the woman's behaviour has already seduced the bloke. Just because the man is lumbered with spoken word and often financial security, the woman's already done the seduction. So we have to question who's really predatory there. When you're a bloke and you're walking down the road, just a woman's the shape of her nose, the way she walks can make a bloke just think, "Fuck me, what? Oh my God." She's pulled you. You're done. If she come up to you and says, "Excuse me, can you go back to my house and lay the carpets in the front of them and paint all the coving?" You'll be like, "Yeah, of course." You're done. You're pulled. But what added to all of that was, and this was all that what is it? Said and Hall, all that early cultural studies mumbo jumbo that I studied. Otherness and like what is it? What did he call it? Orientalism. I think, is it Said or Hall wrote Orientalism? Someone in the chat might know. I can't remember off the top of my head. And it was like, oh, how the West othered the Orient. Well, no, the West didn't other the Orient. The Orient was and remains different. They are other, and we get back to diversity being a strength. Well, if they're not other, then how can it be a strength? If they're not different, then what's diversity anyway? It's bullshit. Much like the the fundamental contradiction at the base of the socialist economic system. You've got it at the leftard diversity system. It doesn't work. And I'll say it. It was exotic. And I've been in this country for 5 years. It was exotic. I was the only European person there. They were wearing very traditional clothes that were very, very sensual. They all looked gorgeous, and it was exotic. And there's fuck all wrong with that. There's fuck all wrong with that. And they see that in me. I have people say that to me. Because when I go out, I tend to dress up in the classic English style. They'll say to me, you know, I have women say it to me all the time. You look amazing. You know, you look so different. You know, and that, you know, that they don't know the English word for whatever the Khmer word for exotic is, but it does look exotic to them. White skin looks exotic to them. And that was there. And all their rituals. It wasn't like an English wedding. They've done very different things. That's exotic. And there's fuck all wrong with that. And to be there and to have those feelings about those people who lived through the Khmer Rouge and who've managed to raise families and make businesses and build houses and carry on living and carry on having a reason to live. And their culture be of value and their culture to be beautiful. And their culture is nationalist. Culture is nationalist. You know, culture is defined by exclusion. You ain't us. You ain't us. I wasn't part of that tonight. I was a guest. I was a voyeur. I was a viewer. Maybe it's a bit more generous to say a viewer, but I wasn't. Even when I got up and done the dance, they're not looking at me thinking, yeah, you know, there's a Cambodian. You know, he's part of us. No, fuck are they? Even the more I try and involve myself in it, the more I show how far away from it I am. And yeah, it was an evening of many, many contradictions and some real. I got very emotional at times. Again, thinking of the older people who survived all that, and to look at them and this huge room full of over 1,000 people looking really good, and their children still wearing traditional clothing. And respecting the elders and respecting the traditions and getting on with it. You know, it was really beautiful. It really was. Now, the last bit on this, in the car home, right? So we get in the car home. Everyone's had a few, but fair enough. Fair play, the driver didn't. And I'm in the front again thinking, come on. I thought, at least throw me in. I'll get in the boot of one of you if you want. Any of you at this stage. And my girlfriend said something in Cambodian, and I didn't understand it. And they all of them, the bloke and these 4 birds, all smashed, sort of sandwiched up in the back. And I said, "Come on, what did you say?" Because I knew it was laughing at me. And after this, I'll deal with all the dealt with donations, which were very much appreciated. But when I finish this, we'll move on to something else. My girlfriend said to me, "Oh, I was just saying that you spent a lot of the evening looking at beautiful women," and I sort of went, "Yeah, I did." I said, "But I couldn't understand why none of them are quite as beautiful as you." The girls are in absolute hysterics because that tickles them, and the bloke in the seat next to me went. It was just a snort of understanding stroke outrage, and my girlfriend went, "Good boy." But I did then turn around because I thought, well, hang on, here's my Ian, here's my little flirt. I turned around and I said, "But I'll be honest with you, love." I said it was hard not to. I said there was a lot of beautiful women there tonight, and luckily it went down well. She went, "Yeah, there was," and then I done my naughty little eyes towards the girl with the lovely top lip. I said, "Come on, there was a lot of beautiful women in there tonight." But excellent times at the Khmer wedding reception. I could rant. I can't believe I've just done 50 mins on it. Right, hang on a minute. I'll deal with all these very generous donations. I'll get I'll try and let me see if I can get all these three in at the same time. Nope, cannot do that. That's a real shame. Right, give me a couple of seconds, people. But it's always such an interesting dynamic that when you're out with your girlfriend, and I've had girlfriends who are very good at dealing with it. I've had girlfriends who could not be worse at dealing with it, and that's just a fact of life. When I remember when I was younger, the amount of girlfriends I had to say to them, "You've got to understand that you're not the only beautiful woman in the world. Now, you are the one I've chosen, and I've chosen you for a reason. But there are plenty of beautiful women, and if you think I'm going to pretend that's not the case, I haven't got the energy for that. I can't lie. I can't live in that lie. Do you know what I mean? The world is... as much as the world is riddled with very attractive and handsome men, I'm sure, I don't have experience of recognizing it, but of course it is. Of course it is. So, yeah, funny old times. I don't know what I'm doing. I've lost control of the. Hang on. Maybe I haven't. Maybe I'll try and do less. What has happened there? Hang on. Can you see all this nonsense? What's going on here? Right, yeah, I'll do these two first. Thank you, everyone, for the donation. It was very, very kind. Yeah, have a look at this. So Respawn, that was brilliant. Sorry, Respawn dropped a Lady Godiva and he said, "Good evening, Dangerfield, and afternoon, friends." Nice one, Respawn. Much appreciated, mate. Billy says, Niggling Bill says, "Gandhi had some really problematic views about some people. Have you heard this?" Yeah, he was a dodgy character in many ways. I mean, yeah, he got a lot of things right, but he got a lot of things wrong, and that's why you really wanted administration. He was a bit of a solo kind of deal, wasn't he? But he wanted people in India to set up looms and shit. It's like, well, okay, but you're gonna get terribly left behind in a post-industrial society when you're sitting there weaving. You're gonna be in all sorts of trouble, right? Okay, that's so. Thank you, Respawn. Thank you, Billy. I think there is another one on entropy. I'm sorry, I'm faffing around with these donations. I've still got tonight on the head, and I'm sort of post-pissed. I'm in the post-piss phase. But yeah, it was amazing. It was a real what a privilege. And you know what? At one point, right? I know I haven't done the donations, but I will. At one point, I remember thinking, "Hey, see, this is why you need to be single. Because if you were single," and then I thought, why are you tricking yourself with this old nutshell again? One, if I was single, I wouldn't have been there, because you don't get invited to family events when you're single. You go to places like that when you're birded off, right? So there's that. Two, if I was single and I had managed to get an invite to something like that, maybe a mate, a bloke mate had sort of said, "Come along." What, am I actually just going to rock up to some table with some salt sitting on it, barely been able to speak the language, not know who's her father, brother, husband, boyfriend, son, daughter, and just go, "Yeah, you're fucking lovely," and use my UK moves on her? No, it's not going to work, is it? The Cambodian women take a bit of time. Unless you're paying to play, you have to put some work in. What did I think? I was just going to go and have a bunk up in the toilets? It was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But these are the games we play with ourselves to deceive ourselves into thinking there's a better world that is not the one you live in. And it's the old judging your insides by other people's outsides. So here's the last of the current entropies. Old Niggin Bill. Wouldn't a girlfriend dropping a deliberate grumpy in your bed be a deal breaker? It seemed Johnny Depp coined this phrase. I had never heard it before. Staying on topic again, Bill. Good to see. Good to see. I can see what you've done there. You've encrypted talking about culture and tradition into a story about the celebrity court case. Yeah, if a girl deliberately shit in my bed, I'd probably say, don't come near me ever again, please. But, you know, it's a bit difficult. Morris Danson, are you new on the firm? No, well, you say that though, not Morris, and you know, I entertained that for a few minutes, but then I put myself in the position of actually having to do that. It's not going to happen. It's not a bar. There was plenty of alcohol, but Cambodians don't really drink. You know, there was about 12 of us on our table, and there was, hang on, I can tell you exactly, 24 bottles of beer. And over the whole night, I drank about 6 of them, and about 2 others got drunk. You know, people would open one bottle and pour like a third of a glass each and just have a few sips. No one out of that over 1,000 people, apart from me, was obviously drunk. It's just not a thing. They look down at it. They don't want people going. I wasn't doing that, but I did knock a couple of things over at one point, and not sort of like really embarrassing. Oh no, my boyfriend's drunk. But you know, I can manage to be a little bit charming when it's going downhill rapidly. Nice one, Billy, for the donation. Yeah, I wouldn't. I had 2 girls in 1 week. 2 Asian girls in 1 week, both had arms in plaster, both put shit in my mouth. But that's not a story for today, and I've told them on the channel many a time. Hello, Shaw, nice to see you. Hello, Visionary Companion. Right. Right, I think I've missed lots of... I'm guessing that was in relation to what I was saying about good-looking blokes and good-looking women. I forget there's couples in the chat sometimes, but we're intelligent people around here. We can cope with it. It's just. Oh, look at that! That's what it was all about. There you go. Pizza wants to know who they are. He makes a joke here, Jess. Next time he sees you, he'll be like, no, but seriously, who are they? Don't ask him. Don't ask him. It's a waste of time. Don't ask her. I mean, he knows not to ask you. Billy, it's all you do. Don't go changing. That's why you're niggling Billy, aren't you? I talk about A, you talk about the bumper sticker on your granddad's car. It's who you are, and you should stay who you are. Because if you never apologise unless you've done something wrong, and you haven't. You're a very generous supporter of this channel. It might be 20 annoying £3 donations, but that all adds up. Right, let me make sure I haven't missed any donations. I'm going to go right back to the top. But it was a real treat. And it's like going to the provinces, you know. You don't get that if you're a tourist. In Thailand, it was rare for me ever to get involved in... I did a bit because I had a romance in Thailand, as you'll read about in my novel. I've done some work on my novel this weekend, and it was fucking wicked. I'm on such a buzz the way Substack's going, and what After Will Self said last week. I think I probably edited about, 10, 15,000 words. So that was good. That was very good. Right, let's see. I've gone back far enough, I think. Oh, hang on, I might as well go back a bit further, just make sure. Hello, Picard. Nice to see you. Right, I certainly done yours, didn't I, Rags? Nice one, mate. Right, here we go. Lovely to have over 100 people here on the It's not clickbait, is it? Khmer wedding reception after stream. That will get them in. Hello, Eldritch. Good to see you. Hello, James. Hello, Flammer. Emma loves a piss stream. I feel a little bit more sober now, though. I mean, talking, getting the blood flowing, getting the remaining 3 synapses firing. I'll have a little bit of agua. I haven't got an headache, which is nice. I just drank lager tonight. It's called Cambodia. I mean, there's two big beers, well, lagers in Cambodia. One's called Anchor, and the other one's called Cambodia. And why not? Hello, Lee. Good to see you. Hello, iTower. Hello, Mr. Natras. It's a great tune, isn't it? Flammer, we're going back to In the Pines. I'll tell you what, it's not as good as Lead Belly, because Lead Belly is Lead Belly. That's just the way it goes. But that final verse on the MTV Unplugged he added something to the song. I'll give him that. I mean, I only discovered Nirvana a few years ago. I can't be doing with all that when the hype's around, because but yes, Mr. Natras, as a song, it's just so American, isn't it? It's just, to me, it's just America. That deep South. I have to guess what the pines are. I kind of know where the sun doesn't ever shine and that. And what is it? His head was found on a driving wheel, but his body was never found. It's incredible stuff. It's a beautiful song. Hello, Rufus. Right, where are we? Sorry, people. Hello, Doc Shelley. Good to see you. 42. Hello, mate. Right, hang on. Won't be long, people. Won't be long. Hello, IR. Jer's gone back to Jer. Didn't you like Ha 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 Classics? Give in every video I upload, the BBC block, even Channel 4 videos. Oh, sorry. Give in every video I upload, the BBC block. Yeah, you can't use any clips anymore. Do you remember fair use? If it was transformative, or if it was critical, or if it was creative, you could use it. That's not, no. Some companies will let you. But The Guardian, use any of their footage, fuck off. Channel 4 and BBC, not a chance. They don't want to promote conversation. What? The British the taxpayer-funded British Broadcasting Corporation? No, they don't want you chatting about stuff. That would be ridiculous. I mean, we pay for it, so Right, hang on a minute, people. Skin and Tonic, I think I read that one. I certainly did. Can you email that to me, Skin, please? That'll be well handy. A nice one on that donation. Right, I think we're nearly there, people. Nice one, Jer. Much appreciated. It was a very generous birth. People would go donate. The grift was strong on my birthday. It was very, 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 very nice and generous, and made me feel all warm, because I was on my own. On my birthday night. How many ladies and Chris can you get into a car? Oh, I'll tell you what. And I tried to get a picture of her, and I just, as soon as I tried taking snide photos of the bird I fancied, I thought, no, this is now out of order. Would you do this sober? Not a fucking chance. And if I caught my missus taking snide pictures of a bloke I thought she fancied, I'd have to say to her, why are you hurting me? If you don't want to be, it'll be that. So I just thought, no more booze. Stop it. And thankfully I did. But I'm a sucker for a glamorous lady, and the whole place was riddled. What are you gonna do, eh? Right, I think we're nearly there. Hang on. I'll tell you what's amazing about the glorious House of Scrubs is, I'm just going through here looking for these donations, and the amount of chat you lot, you all know each other. I know this is obvious, but just chatting away with each other. It's great. Grim's on the firm. He's on the firm. Grim is on the firm. He's on the firm. Those streams are coming. Trust me, they're coming. All right. Before I know there's more donations, and I will get to them, but I'll forget if I don't tell you. So yesterday we done a call-in. Great show. Who did we have? This will be embarrassing because I'll forget. Who came on first? Plastic African came on. Mrs. Packer came on. She was a beautiful lady, wasn't she? She was beautiful. Packer was like, see my missus marking her territory. She was like, I love you. Kiss me. I was, fucking hell. I'm only talking to a woman that you can see I'm obviously nervous about talking to because you're here. But she was great as well. And then who did we have? That's the embarrassing bit. I'm sure there was someone else. Then Packer came on himself, which is always a pleasure. But the important bit was Barclay came on, right? And then we talked about this hit piece that they've done on PA. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but during the stream, he got very distracted. And then he went, I've got to go. And he was just gone. Do you remember? So after the stream, I get a message from him. Bless him. And, what he said, wasn't it encouraging? I just thought, what a blinder. It's a risk. He's taken a risk. That goes without saying. But I've always liked Barclay. I've always liked him. My support's always been there for him. He knows he can call me and talk to me about anything, anytime, and I'll be honest with him. He said, listen, I'm getting it in the ear. He said, you're going to have to eat that stream. And I said, I can't delete a 3.5 hour call in. It was a good show. And I said, I'll edit. I said, here's what I'll do, right? I said, I'll put the stream into private. That means no one can see it except for me. I said, then I'll edit your bit out, which usually takes about 6 hours. Nice one, YouTube. Computers, superb. And once I've got rid of your bit, and I'll tell you what, the YouTube editing feature, it's not easy. It's so counterintuitive, like the rest of YouTube. It's so counterintuitive. Oh, slide this up there, do a cartwheel, rub your elbow on your ex-lover's sternum, and you're like, hang on, what? And so what I done, and I think a lot of you all know, I know a lot of you know this because what I'm about to tell you had about 500 views. What I managed to do was edit out everything else and leave just Barclay's bit up. And the reason that he got it in the ear, and I understand it now, is because that organisation have got rules about what you say, and they have to protect their organisation because everyone's gunning for them at the moment. I tell you what, on the budget and the resources that they don't have, from a marketing point of view, because what PA has essentially been about is branding. That is branding. Get the name established and what it's about. That's what branding is. That's all. Branding isn't about selling a product. You do your branding before sales. And they've done incredibly well. I mean, from a marketer's perspective, it's just ridiculous what they've done. Mark is a genius at that stuff. Even with his somewhat, what would you call it? Somewhat, should we say, curious history. He's pulled an absolute blinder with that organisation. And so with this hit piece coming out, with all eyes on them, they don't really want the bloke that the Mirror have called their poster boy, even though they said that Barclay was sold on it when he was 13, which was about 6 years before PA even existed. Good call, media. Journalism, yay. Post-truth. But I understood that, and I've got nothing against PA at all. I really get on with Mark. I feel like we've got a good relationship, but I'm nothing to do with PA. I've been to none of their events. I don't think my reputation and my history will do them any good. You know, I think I make them a target. You know, some of the things I talk about, that it's not great for an organisation like that. And so I said to Barclay, fair enough. So anyway, I fucked it up and just left his bit up. Someone else wrote to me and said, I'm enjoying this too much, clearly. What am I thinking of? What's the TV series? It was something underwater. Not that, but nearly that. Someone throw something at me, or that's going to carry on for hours, for me. And so I fucked it up. So then I actually took his bit out and got it right. And so that stream's up now. And halfway through it goes, oh, look who's appeared. And then cuts to something else. But that's on tonight. What's the time in the UK? Hang on a minute. Hey, Siri. Hey, Siri. Oh, that's embarrassing. Hey, Siri. What's the time in the UK now?
It's 17:59 in London, England.
Okay, so it's 6 o'clock. So in 2.5 hours, Channel 4 goes live with their ridiculous shit piece. 2.5 hours, that's going to be 2:30 in the morning here. Maybe that'll be interesting. I said I was going to do a live stream, but I don't think I'll be able to. I don't think I'll be here in 2.5 hours, to be honest with you. Duck Boy Jiden, mute coming up. Hi. Duck Boy Jiden said it was Saeed. There you go. Said, sorry, not Saeed. That's a different fellow altogether. It was said, thank you. Just skipping forward 2 hours to say your rendition of Leadbelly stroke Nirvana was very good. I'm now rewinding. Yeah, I've been smashing it today. I did used to play it though. I said all this earlier. I had a little arrangement, but yeah, I've put an F sharp major into it. Oh yeah, it makes me appear very, very musical. Thank you, Duck Boy Jiden. Well, you were telling me hang on, it can't have been you then. Weren't you saying you had trouble? Someone was. This isn't entertainment, is it? Nice one, Duck Boy. Much appreciated. That's kind of you to say that. I do like singing a song. That guitar's a lump of wood, though. It's awful. The spacing between the strings is different. I've had to relearn how to play a guitar. You know, I mean the spacing, not the bit off the fret. I mean, like the space between like the bottom E and the A is wider than the A and the D, etc. And that lack of pattern continues throughout. So, you know, when you learn chords, you learn where to put your fingers. When the strings are in a different place, you have to learn to put your fingers in a different place. And in the UK, at Mark's house, you know, Mark who comes in here, I've got this beautiful, absolute, I bought it when I had a few quid, beautiful Fender parlour guitar. I mean, that's a parlour guitar. You can tell they're tiny little things. Look, it's tiny. Look at how long it is. Look at it compared with me. But I just love them. I love them. I love nylon strings. I don't want to pick. I don't like all that fucking noise. I just like sitting there, and you can get some really nuanced, you know, when you drop it out, and you can get all those lovely little damps and that. Doing an impression of a damp. Okay, have you got that? But Mark offered to send it over, but I've heard nightmares about people sending guitars over. But this little Fender parlour guitar I've got, it's actually gone up in value since I bought it, which is weird. You know, that's weird. I can assure you none of my other guitars have gone up in value. Well, I've only got that one. I bought that one out here for like $40, and it's agony on my fingers. It goes out of tune while you're playing it. And the strings are all in the wrong place. IJB, is this a nationalist channel? No, it's not. It's not a nationalist channel, no. I do talk about nationalism though, and I do think the nation state model is preferable without a doubt to a globalist model. Anything internationalist or globalist fails dramatically compared to the nation state model. It's a political decision I made. It's a tactical decision I made for this not to be a nationalist channel. Do you understand? Because I like my YouTube channel. So I told YouTube, I made a video saying this is not a nationalist channel. And everyone's like, oh, well, and people who weren't that bright went, oh, and everyone else was like, yeah, makes sense, doesn't it? Just deny it. Just deny it. Made sense. Hello, Willow. Nice to see you. Visionary Companion says, there are women who seem to believe that their men are no longer allowed to notice other women, and that if the blokes do notice, they are rotters. Yeah, but it works both ways. There are blokes who seem to believe that their women can know, it does work both ways. But either way, it's ridiculous. You've got to accept that. I mean, maybe when you're 15, you don't accept it, but come on, it's ridiculous. The girl I've been with for the longest, Gail, well, we used to have threesomes anyway. She quite liked a lady. She was quite sensual in that area, but she didn't give a shit. She'd sort of go, she'd go, oh, look at her, and I'd go, I already am, and I loved her for it. And I, 11 years we were together, smacked up and fancy free. Right, hang on a minute. A couple more donations. Oh, hang on a minute. Sorry, people. I apologise if this is somewhat confusing because I don't really know what I'm doing. On the same page, you lovely bastard. Love you talk. Right? Love you talk it about another I'm. You love you talk it about another I'm Chris, mate. No problem, on the same page. Whatever floats your boat, son. Whatever tickles your fancy. You know how it works around in these parts. Thank you for the generous donation. And the I don't know what you're talking about there, but I like it. It's all right. Thank you, on the same page. Sort. That's a wicked correction. Sort. Marzipan got invited to a Sicilian wedding. It was mental. There you go. You understand what I mean then. I don't know, Jim. I don't know whether you're talking to me about taking pictures or whatever. I don't know if you're talking to me about me in the wedding, but I got no photos, and I got no. I did get a couple of rubbish photos when I was trying to do a naughty snap, but I just thought I don't want to be. No one else was taking. I didn't want to be the tourist. Oh, look at the funny people do their funny things. I wanted to be part of it. Not as much as I could, so to speak. Right, where are we? No one guessed that. Fuck the spelling. I'm drunk. Amazingly, though, that's the sentence you spelled perfectly. Excuse me, I've got some kind of nasal problem. Oh, that's what it is. It's very handsome. I was getting looks, though. I must admit. Towering above everyone and being glow in the dark white might have had something to do with it. It's very easy in Southeast Asia to think you're a bitch magnet because everyone looks at you. Like when we got to the market, I had to go and stand outside after I'd nearly fainted at the beauty that cometh from the stench. But just because there was a slight breeze, and in the market it was, my back of my shirt was wet. It was just wet, and so I've stood out in the where they're all clearing up, and I don't know why I was telling you that now. What did I just see? Oh yeah. And it's weird because it's still quite odd for Cambodians to see a barang, especially in their markets. That's not a tourist market. That's not like Central Market or Russian Market. That market's where the locals go to buy their food to eat and and get their hair done. It's not, you don't really see people like me there. Because I was out in essentially a back alley, it was weird. There was like kids like in their rags and like shoes made out of cardboard and sellotape. Not joking. And their knackered little bikes that had no tires on them and having the time of their life. No health and safety, motorbikes just zooming up, and you're thinking, how comes no one's getting killed here? But they weren't. And like old women with their Khmers on their head, like gambling, when they're meant to be selling fruit and all this. And I had a real moment of clarity. I just thought, even though I've been in 5 years, I thought, what a fantastic place this is. And I got the same envy. That was the start of the sort of snowball of envy that defined my evening. That this is their culture. It's still theirs. It survived communism. And I don't only think it survived communism, it probably defeated communism. And to have that ethnic homogeneity is so, they're so lucky, it's and will they maintain it? Will they understand the risks of letting too many people in and all that? I don't know. But I just thought, I'm in a very special place at a very special time. And to feel like that after 5 years, it kind of, I sort of welled up a little bit, and then having already seen the beautiful women and and the exotic nature of that, and I'm not having that. I'm not having those left-hard cunts take that away from me. And I'll tell you, I'm also not having those left-hard fucking numbskulls take that away from the Cambodians. Because it is exotic. It is exotic to people who aren't them. And how dare fucking allies step in? Oh, you can't exotify them. You can't other them. I ain't. They are. That's why they do it. That's what culture's for. That's the fucking function of culture. It's not its only function, but you take that away from it. You make culture inclusive. See how long it lasts. Because that's what's happened in fucking Western Europe. Look at oh no, you can't show the Union flag. No, that's offensive. There's a lot of people living around here who weren't born here. Fuck what? Oh, you can put the Ukrainian flag up though. Oh, that's all right then. It's just absurd. Absolutely absurd. Now, you can't call it Christmas because, that's offensive. It's not inclusive to other religions. Yeah, it's not meant to be. It's Christmas, which is what a Christian nation, England, Great Britain, celebrates. And if you're offended by that, well, I suggest you fuck off home because, this is what we do here. Yeah, there's other functions to culture, of course, apart from the exclusivity, but that's the foundation. If you take that bit out of it, it just crumbles. Really does. Right, hang on, let's see if we're clear, and I might be able to actually answer some questions. On the same page, don't be too drunk and spend too much money, mate. I mean, it's rare for me to tell people not to donate. So, feel free as well. But, I actually don't want you to wake up and go, fucking hell, that was an expensive drink. What's the Thai and Lao border like? That's an interesting question because if I remember rightly, you've got, I think Thailand and Laos, the border is in Isan, really. It's northern Thailand. That's where it joins Laos, because you've got Cambodia wedged in between them. I'll show you a map, not because it's particularly interesting, but it'd be nice maybe for other people who don't know the geography of the area to actually know where I am. And you'll also see how badly I guessed that then. But I think I'm kind of on it. Yeah, I absolutely am. Right here, hang on, I'll get it up on the screen. Nice one on the same page. That's very, very generous. Oh, kind of echo of a hiccup there. And let's see if I can get rid of that. Right here. So here, I'll make it a bit bigger. So this is northern Thailand. It's a bit hard to see the borders here. So here's Laos up here, and it's weird. So it's this area where my cursor is, yeah, and hang on. So here's Laos, this bit here where I'm going round and round. That's all Laos, and then Laos is all the way down there to here. So it's sort of like a tree. So there's the trunk, and there's Laos. Here's Thailand. But Thailand goes all the way down here as well. Phuket and all that's down here. So you're bordering Laos, basically. Like here's Chiang Rai. So all that is Laos bordering Vietnam. And then all that as well down there. And that's all here. There's Khon Kaen. This is always sand. There's Udon Thani. This is always sand up here. And then Cambodia is here. So you've got Bangkok here, Cambodia here, and then Vietnam on our right. But that bit there, which you'll think was Laos, is actually Cambodia. And here's Phnom Penh. Oh, check this out, people. Yesterday, me and the missus were looking at some land, right? We found some land in Kampot. Now, Kampot is beautiful. Let me see if I can show you some pictures of Kampot. Kampot is not only beautiful, but it's by the sea. There's a paradise beach there, right? I'll grab some pictures. Hang on, I'll go on maps, on images. Hang on, Kampot. So you've got a beautiful beach there. Right, hang on. Let me grab some of these pictures, and you'll see. And this is relevant because when I tell you how much this bit of land was, we were all prepped to go down there and everything. There was a scrub. He turns up here occasionally. He came over to Cambodia, I think about 2 years ago now, for a few weeks holiday. He's still here. He ain't leaving. He lives down there. He lives in Kampot or Kep, which is kind of the same place. Yeah, he hasn't left, and he ain't gonna. He loves it. Nice bloke, actually. Interesting bloke. He's involved in all that crypto malarkey. Hang on a minute. I'm just getting you a few pictures because it will add a little bit of weight to my little tale of let's buy that land. But I want to get a couple of pictures of Kampot town because Kampot town is bordering on the psychedelic. Hang on. Well, it ain't bordering on the psychedelic. It is psychedelic. It's like, what is this place? Right, so I'm about to show you some photos of Kampot, right? So check this out. And bear in mind that the reason I'm showing you this is because we found a bit of land there yesterday that we were prepping to buy, right? So I want you to understand that me and my missus know what Kampot's like. We find a bit of land because we want to build a house, and we want to build a house on a land that's big enough to build 2 other houses to rent out, right? Because that makes sense. Right, hang on. So now I want you to see a bit of Kampot. Because Phnom Penh's too expensive for me. I can't. It's fucking mad. If you could buy in Phnom Penh, sit on it for 5 years, rent it out so they pay your mortgage, I reckon you'll treble your money in 5 years. I really do. But you're going to need $500,000 It's crazy here. When I was here 15 years ago, I was offered a condo for 35,000. Just when I just met some bloke who was in the trade. 35,000. That was 15 years ago. That place is 1.6 million now dollars. 35,000 15 years ago. God, shit. I could have got that money together as well somehow. I was just thinking, yeah, I don't think I'll be buying real estate in Cambodia, mate. You know what I mean? It's hardly that can't be a good investment. Yeah, could have retired. Anyway, Joshua, people have said that to me before, but if I bought land and my missus left me, I wouldn't care. She deserves it. She deserves it. She's had a terrible life, my missus. She's had a horrible, very nasty, vicious, sad life. If I buy land and she says thanks, see ya, I'll be like, you're welcome, really. You know, I'll find a way of making that money back because I'd quite happily buy her land. I'd have bought her land when she finished with me, you know. You can still email me, Colt, chris@chrisdangerfield.com. I don't really. Planet X says definitely delete this stream just after I say that. On the same page. Out of interest, why did you ask about the Thai-Lao border? That's kind of got me thinking. Anyway, so have a look at a bit of Kampot. Hang on. I'm a bit low down here, aren't I? Right, have a look at a bit of Kampot. And remember, we nearly bought some land. We were looking into it. I just want to show you this so you can get an understanding of how excited we got and why it was a bit of a kick in the teeth. So this is a bit of Kampot town, right? And it's gorgeous, right? And that's not just those 6 houses. It's like there's loads of streets like that. It's this bizarre kind of psycho-colonic delic. It's just gorgeous, you know. Kampot's an absolute dream. All right, so that's one photo. That's the town. Vartington is one of the floating villages down in Kampot. Right, nice. Not sure if that's still there, but not sure if it's not. But there you go. You're getting an idea of this place, right? Now, this isn't far off the view. I think actually that mountain you could see from this bit of land. And I was saying to my missus, can you imagine opening your curtains and the mist in the morning, you know, all the sort of mist around that mountain? Yeah, I mean, look at that. I mean, it's not for everyone, but that's paradise to me. That's right up my Strasse. Get a little boat down on that river, you know, lovely, right? So that's more Kampot. Yeah, a little bit more of the same. Little huts. People live in those, and there's bars like that. You can go and drink in bars like that. And after a few beers, they'll take you out on their boat up and down the river. Right, lovely. I mean, it's straight out of Apocalypse Now, isn't it? I mean, it's all my dreams come true. And I think I've got you one more, which is a very small image, but this is I should have really got you a picture of the beach down at Kep, but you know, it's fucking lovely down there, right? Let me see if I can just get you a picture of the beach. Hang on. I don't know. I never remember whether it's Kampot or Kep Beach. Yeah, I mean, look. Come on, drop me out. Hang on, I'll see if I can make a couple of these bigger so you can get an idea. Yeah, you get the idea. Right. This is your gorgeous white sand. Yeah. All right. So that's actually Kep. Right. Anyway, right. Back to the story. So, hello, Paul Salmon. Good to see you, mate. Right. On the same page says, Hi, Chris, I'm in England. Anything you want done? I'm flying back on Wednesday. You know what? There would have been, but I haven't got time to sort that out now. I need a new computer, but the expensive bit is getting it into the country. Whereas if I was to send it to an address in the UK and then you bring it as hand luggage, you don't have to pay a broker and you don't have to pay import duty because it's your own laptop. Whereas if you try and FedEx it, they assume that you might be, you could FedEx hundreds of them over and not pay any taxes and import duty and then just sell them. So I would have maybe taken you up on that, but I haven't got time to sort that out now. But thanks for the offer, though, mate. Appreciate it. So where are you? Where are you? Thailand, then, or Laos, or one of the two? I'm guessing. I imagine it's Laos. No, Thailand. Nice one for the donation, mate. Very kind. Right. So listen, we thanks for the offer, though, mate. That is very kind. Right. No, I'm not. I'm in Phnom Penh. Right. So, sorry, I didn't mean that to sound aggro. I just want to get on with the story, and I've interrupted myself enough times. So we find this bit of land, right? 1,000. Oh, hang on. How big was it? It was something like. Hang on, let me remember. It was something like 1,000 square meters, right? That's ample size. 1,000 square meters. So, let's just say 20 meters wide, 500 long. Is that right? Have I done the maths right there? But I got the calculator out because I can't add up anymore. And it was ample size for our house and two to rent. And we'd build them. I'm even thinking of, anyway, that I'm not going to interrupt myself anymore. $20,000, right? $20,000 for this 1,000 square meter plot. It had pineapples growing there. It had mango trees. It had like just ridiculous jackfruit trees. Now, obviously, you'd have to build around them. You might have to cut a couple of them down so the roots aren't causing your foundations trouble and all that. But obviously, you're not going to get the perfect bit of land. And it was a hard title as well. Now, that is like, I suppose that's in Cambodia. It's a little bit like a free, what's it called in boozers? A freehold and a long hold. I can't remember what it's called. Short hold. Basically, if you get a soft title, you own it, but it's not recognised on a national level. On a provincial level, the province says you own that land, but on a national level, you don't, and that's a soft title. So you can kind of do what you want and that, and you can sell it to someone else, and you can build on it. There's not a lot of bureaucracy in Cambodia. If you wanted to set up a shop on it, you could build an house and just turn the front room into a shop. No one's going to really get on your case about it. You might get the taxman knock at your door, but even then, it's barter. Yeah, you probably owe some tax. Yeah, we haven't been doing too well this year. Well, what's that new 4x4? Oh, yeah, I should have hid that. Literally. I was in a hotel in Sihanoukville about 10 years ago. This German bloke owned it. And I said to him, what's your taxes like? And he said, when he eventually gets here, he said, I ain't seen him in 2 years. He said, but, he looks at the quality of the rooms and the paintwork of the hotel. And he said, oh, let's not beat around the bush. He said, my place is a shithole. He said, so I don't pay as much as the hotel's up the road. There's no books or anything. Maybe that's all changing. It probably will. These things happen. So it was a hard title. So you own it on a national level. Now, if we were married, we could buy that together. Even if we're not, like I said, I'd get that for her. I'd probably tap my mum up for some money, a loan that I'd pay her back out of my salary, And you can get a mortgage that doesn't involve a bank. Now, this is quite typical in Cambodia. You go to the actual landowner and you say, the girl says, because it's often a girl with a barang, a foreigner, the girl says, we want to buy this land. We'll give you a third of the money, and then we'll pay you X amount every month. Now, they don't want, they don't want any, they don't want you to say, oh, you can have my house if we don't pay you, or blah, blah, blah. If you don't pay them, the deal's off, you lose your deposit, and so they've got like 5-6 grand or whatever. So it's quite handy, really, quite a nice little system. I probably would look at borrowing rather than doing that, because they do add a bit on, like interest. Anyway, but 20 grand, I'll scrape that together, even if it took a year, and everything looked perfect. And I said to her, look at it. And we were looking at it, and we were looking at it on the maps, and where's the nearest hospital? Where's the nearest school? Where's this? Where's that? And I was saying to her, I said, I think it's perfect. And she was like, yeah, it is. It was 5 kilometers from those beaches I was showing you. So that's just on the scooter. You just zoom down to the beach, pineapple ice cream, a little bit of swimming. And that water down there is just beautiful. And you can walk out about a mile and it doesn't get deeper than knee high. Just lovely. Just lovely. And so we looked into it a bit further, and there's no water. There's power. It's got power. No water. Now, my missus went, ugh. And I said, well, hang on a minute. You've got no water in the province. And she said, yeah. And it's a pain in the arse, because to have a shower, you've got to have water that you've collected from rainfall, and you have to pour a bowl of it over your head. You want water to drink, you've got to go and buy it. You want to wash your plates and all that, you've got to pump the well. If there's no rain, and sometimes it can go 4 or 5 months without rain in here, because you've only got monsoon season, you'll get a little bit of rain, but not enough to have free houses, have showers and do their washing up and all that, and clean all their clothes. You can't have a washing machine if you haven't got water. You can't have a shower if you haven't got water. You can't have a sink if you haven't got water. And I was really trying. I was thinking 20 grand for this much land. What? We fucking mango trees. Let's buy it. And she just was like, I am not doing it. I'm not, And then we looked into, well, how long will it be until you get water in there? And it was like, that it ain't happening. You're halfway up the side of a mountain. It's like, that's why it's 20 grand. That's why it's 20 grand. No way you lived in. Okay, so this is interesting, because there was another scrub. Do you remember the French restaurant in Kampot that was owned by an American bloke? I don't want to dox him. He had a Cambodian wife. I met him. He met me up in Phnom Penh once, but I don't think he watches the channel anymore. Well, I'm almost certain he doesn't. You must have known him, because it was a very successful French Cambodian restaurant in Kampot. I'm sure you would have known it. I can probably. Sorry, people. I've got a mosquito bite on my leg the size of Manhattan Cemetery. I don't know what that means. I'm now hungover. I've been talking for 2 hours and I'm hungover. Do you know the one I'm talking about? Let me just see if I can find out what it's called, because I know I can, because I can remember his name, and we had a couple of emails to and fro. Hang on. Unless I'll go to the bottom and see if you know it. I don't know. Marco Polo doesn't ring a bell, actually. I can remember his name. Let me just find the old email. It might have been. I mean, I'm going back about 4 years now. But he had I think it was a French restaurant there. But he said to me something interesting, because I said, why are you giving it up? It sounds perfect. And he said, the problem is, he said, when it comes on top, the Cambodians will look after their own. He said, and so when tourists come to Kampot or Kep for food, where's a nice restaurant? The tuk-tuk drivers won't say the Barang restaurant. They'll take you to Cambodian restaurants, as it should be. I mean, imagine it was like that in England. But obviously that caused him some issues. Hang on. He had quite a strange name, actually. Obviously it wasn't that. Hang on, if I put restaurants, hang on, if I just put Campot in, I'm sure I haven't sent many emails about Campot. Go back a few years. Oh, there it is. I think I see him. Hang on. I think I found him. Here we go. Right. Oh, bollocks, that ain't it. Hang on. No, that is him. Hang on. Oh, maybe he only told me the name of the... It's weird seeing his username. That takes him back. Right. Actually, it wasn't French or Cambodian. It was called Thai Fire. Thai Fire. Oh, this is really nostalgic for me because this was written to me in 2018. Just before I got out, just as I got there, actually. And he said, I hear you're in Cambodia. Me and my wife own a restaurant in Kampot called Thai Fire. We'd love to have you over. How nice is that? But I didn't get down there. But he came up to Phnom Penh. Fucking hell, that's really weird. Do you remember that Thai Fire? I knew the rusty key. I knew the rusty keyhole. There's another scrub lives down there. Oh, I can't tell you his name, but there's another one of us crowd who lives down there. No, not O'Neill's. There you go. That's it. Yeah, his missus was Thai. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. Obviously, now I realise. Yeah. So you know the bloke, an American fella. Yeah. How interesting. So So hang on. Are you still there? Are you still in Kampot? Because if you are still in Kampot, keep your eye out for a bit of land I could build a house on. Hello, Hooper. Hello, JC. Nice to see you. Right, people. I think I'm done now. I've done a lot more than I thought I would be able to do after. A few likes would be nice. It's been wonderful having you all here. I advertised the stream for what it would be. I wasn't lying. I put in the description that I wasn't feeling too clever. I just want to hear Dominance 74. No. That's heartbreaking, man. I mean, I don't know how old you are, but you've done it once. Do it again. Sorry to hear that, mate. Things ain't going too well my end on that score. I mean, people are struggling. But sorry to hear that, man. There's another scrub. He doesn't come here anymore, but he had an airline business, and you can imagine what the coof done to that. He spent his whole life building that up, had a nice quality of life. When he came out to Phnom Penh, he said, I've never donated to your channel. He said, so tonight's on me. He went food, drink, women. And he stuck to it and all. He absolutely stuck to it. And bless him. And then he lost everything because of the coof. Corporations are still doing all right, though, aren't they? Those big old corporations still seem to be raking it in. Funny that, isn't it? Thank you, Aramas. Sorry to hear about that, Dominant 74. But I'm guessing maybe you're about my age. It's a long shot. I'm thinking 74 is probably the year of your birth. But you can still... Okay. That's why you said that. Yeah, okay. But it wouldn't be that much of a risk if it was something like 20 grand. She's welcome to it, really, and I really mean that. I really mean that. But that is a different situation to what I'm talking about. So you got done. So you went back to the UK, bought a bit of land, put it in someone else's name, and then they went, fuck you, thanks for the land. Wow. Yeah, and there's not a lot of barangs out here, is there? Which is refreshing. Rags. Chris, our struggle is planned. You will own nothing and be happy. Sorry, mate. I always forget. Baz reckons it was a bodacious stream. Good Lord. Yeah, Amazon done all right. Vaughn, thank you very much. Not a problem, mate. Good luck to you. You know, get busy. You know, you have to. Or it's done, innit? I mean, that you can't let these things break you. I just don't think you can. It's not an option, because otherwise what is your life? This is a song called New Shoes I wrote in the 90s that is me singing. Yes, it sounds like the 90s. Yes, it sounds like me singing, and that's why. I want to thank everyone who donated. Oh, one just come through, didn't it? Let me see where that is. Packer said, Knive one, Chris. It's always seen Knive back on the firm. Knive one, Chris. Lovely to come home to the scrub chat and you telling stories. Well, I have got, Rags has sent me about 200 clips. Not joking. Kevin has sent me, the boy Keener has sent me about 50 emails. So there's a mega stream, mega clip stream on the way. But coming back from a tiring day, half pissed, I didn't have anything else in me but to tell you just my most recent memories. Thanks to everyone who donated. Thanks to Steve Cray and Rags for looking after the place. Everyone send good wishes to Moslab and his family. And thank you to all you lot for engaging what I was saying, engaging with each other, looking after each other. Today, I put eight scrubs in contact for potential real life assistance and friendship. So 4 people wrote to me. Now, I've been going through my emails. There's hundreds. So if I haven't responded to you, I'll probably delete them at some point. But 4 people said, can you send this to so-so, or can you give this person my email? We talked about it on the stream because he wants some advice and he lives near me or something like that. So that's always lovely. You're a great bunch. Hang on. How do I sort this out? There is still a bit of time to throw some filthy lucre at me, but don't worry if you haven't got it, can't or don't want to. I will see you almost certainly with stream tomorrow. Bless you all. It's been an absolute pleasure. This is Household and New Shoes. Ta-ta. And dual citizen, sorry. I've got to mute myself because I haven't got my cans in, so that's why I won't be responding to comments. I'm stupid, I'm lazy, but in the discotheque I still look crazy. Love me. The truth escapes. Summertime, we can get new shoes. I'll have brown and you can get the blues. Hello, Rab. Oh, sorry, I haven't muted myself. Ecotron. Summertime, we can get new shoes. I'll have brown and you can get the blues. You can get the blues. Don't forget the hit piece on PAs. On once you've seen it, get on social media and slag the fuck out. It's only slide. I need you, love me, and I feel the same again tonight. Summertime, we can get new shoes. What? And if you're not signed up to my Substack, links in the description. 17 stories in there now, and they're cracking. I'll never monetize it. Bless you, Jays. Yeah, I tried that one on the Mrs. IJB. She weren't buying it. Nice one on the donation, mate. The water tower, I mean, I tried it with her, but you know, she's seen me try and repair the rice cooker, and we've got through 4. I would do that. I was even thinking, "Fat Chrissy, what?" I was even thinking of a water tower, you know, to supply not only our free properties, but maybe help encourage a community around the area. But my missus, you know, that's she's not feeling that. Thank you, Jules Citizen. Yeah, if you like reading stories of the rotten underbelly of my past, it's certainly that. Look, well, the thing is, that's what they do in the provinces, John. They do dig wells, but there's problems there with bacteria, and you know, it's that kind of living with a couple of young children, which is the plan. It's a lot of graft. Do you know what I mean? And I you know, Jim, then buy on the top of the mountain. That'll be about $3,000. But then how do we take our kids to school? You know, weird things you've got to think about. There was a bit of land for about $15,000 halfway up a mountain, and I just said to her, "Look, it's perfect." She went, "Perfect for you sitting there writing and YouTubing." She said, "Not very good for going to the shops or the hospital or school." And I was like, I've really got to go, people. Listen, I want to take that back about what I said, slag the fuck out of it. Watch the documentary, get on social media, and call them out if they bullshitted. That's a fairer assessment. Don't just slag it for the sake of it. But I've got a funny feeling they will. It will be rubbish, and it is just a hit piece, I'm sure. All right, people, take care of yourselves. Look after yourselves. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hi.